What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Owie, aka Owie Prime, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's been a while since I uploaded a video on this channel. I usually do like reviews regarding movies or TV shows, but I'm deviating from the path for now. I'm giving you guys a special show. We're going to be talking about wrestling. We're going to be talking about something I hold dear to my heart. I believe it's a crucial pastime in American history, even though it's a newer pastime. But that is pro wrestling, because this past weekend we had WrestleMania 40, which I'll say it met expectations. I don't know if it exceeded expectations, but it definitely met expectations in a very good way. We're going to be delving into WrestleMania 40 and reviewing it. And I'm not going to be doing it alone, as you could tell. I got my good friend, Mike Zappa Man Zappa. I'll let him go ahead and introduce himself. What's going on, Zappa?
Well, first off, Owie, good to be on your show. Thanks for having me. I used to have a podcast back in the day, but I've heard all about the Owie channel. I had to be here. So at this point, we'll go ahead and acknowledge your channel. It's been fantastic. And if you're not following this channel, make sure you follow him. It's a great challenge that he takes every day when he gets on and cuts promos, but it's a great channel. Thanks for having me, Owie.
You're welcome, Zappa. But the problem with OE reviews is consistency. I'm not posting consistently enough, but I'm working on that. But I thought this would be a good video to talk about because, like I said, I love professional wrestling. Granted, I haven't been watching a lot in the last decade. The most I've watched wrestling is probably within the last year. I really loved WrestleMania 39, and ever since then, I've kind of been keeping up with the product. I'll watch every major pay per view that comes out for the past year. I haven't watched every Raw or SmackDown, but I've grown attached to the current roster. I like the talent that they got going on right now. And especially with what's happened earlier this year with the whole Vince McMahon debacle, good old Vinnie Mac. Who knew that he was such a sexual deviant that to took shit on people's faces or whatnot? And now we got Triple H, in charge of everything. It's been a crazy ride for the world of professional wrestling, but I like the product that's going on right now. And before we delve into wrestling or WrestleMania, Zappa, what do you think of the current product that is the WWE?
Well, I mean, it's a great question. I've been watching the product since 1986, WrestleMania 5. It was great in the 80s with Hogan leading the pack. And, Hogan, he is the mantra. He is the guy. He has always been the guy until recently. But I'll get back to you on that in a little bit. In terms of the product today, it was a rough 10 years for the product. Vinnie Mac was getting older. His writing completely sucked dick. And it was boring. It was a boring product. It was horrible. There were no long-term storylines. You getting WrestleMania matches booked 2 weeks before the product started. There was no vested interest. Big stars were kind of getting built up. Your Seth Rollins was, you had the Shield doing its thing, but everything changed in 2020, Ellie. Everything changed in 2020.
The biggest thing for me is the crowd. When I watch these events, when I watch Raw, when I watch the pay-per-views, the crowd is back in it. And I think the crowd plays an important role in a lot of things. And they're going crazy nowadays, which is why I like the product. When you watch a show and the crowd's going crazy and it's reminding you of the Attitude Era crowds, I can't help but get back into it. And you and I, we were lucky enough to visit or go to a SmackDown show just recently here in Arizona where the final boss called us a bunch of cactus-loving crackheads.
You cactus-loving crackheads finally have something worth shooting in your veins.
The whole stadium was going crazy. So I like the vibe and the tone that the industry is taking a turn in. It's very reminiscent of the Attitude Era. It's not quite there, but it's getting there.
Well, I mean, I would agree with you on all that, but before you even can speak about what's happening currently and start talking about what superstars you like or don't like, you got to go back here, right? The business has changed. When Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, took this thing over from Vinnie Mac, things started to change. Things needed to be fixed. And now that Paul Levesque is, and people are calling it the Paul Levesque era, I couldn't agree more. Um, he's going back to what we love. I have been watching this shit for a very, very long time, and the only thing the current or the past product for the last 10 years has done is insult my fucking intelligence. All right? That's all it's done. And I'm not a fan of it. It turned me off and it turned me limp. Today, fast forward, I mean, we're in 2024 and this shit started to kind of build up for a few years. As of right now, the WWE is making the most money it's ever have. We're on 19 consecutive sellouts. The merch sales are off the chains. They just closed a $5 billion transaction with Netflix, where Raw's going to Netflix. It's a TKO sport now. Vince McMahon is out the door from shitting on women's faces. Paul Levesque has taken over. I'm hard, man. This is good fucking wrestling, and we're finally seeing long-term storylines. That's why you're invested in Cody, because Paul is hooking your ass and teaching you what the Cody Rhodes character is all about and how it should be played.
Let's give the people what they want. Let's start off with the main event, damn it.
Ooh.
Let's start off with the main event. But let's go with the main event of night one first. We'll do night one main event, then night two. And night one's main event was the Bloodline stipulation match of The Rock, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief.
Acknowledge my Tribal Chief.
Acknowledge him. We'll talk about him, yeah. And against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, to see if Bloodline rules would happen in night two. What'd you think of that match, man? I mean, The Rock has been absent from the ring for what, 8 years, they said, prior?
Close to a decade, yeah.
Close to a decade. And holy shit, man, did the Great One... He put on a show. The guy could sell like no other. He was flopping around like a fish. He was selling spears, punches. He was making these guys look like $1 million. He still got it.
Yes, he does. He looks just like he did 10 years ago. I mean, it's incredible to just know that guys his age, like Paul Triple H Levesque, have aged considerably. And then you got Dwayne sitting in the ring, which is 1 year under Paul. It's crazy. But the match itself, it did what it needed to do. Right? So we knew that the Bloodline rules were going to happen night two. How are we going to get through this match, number one? How are we going to keep Cody and Roman Reigns healthy? God forbid if they were to get hurt in that match, it would completely blow up the weekend. So the match did what it needed to do. It was nostalgia for a lot of people, seeing Dwayne getting back into the fucking ring, and goddamn, he looked good in his entrance. I mean, for fuck's sakes, we holding the belt with the fire and moving his hand over, just feeling the crowd. I mean, heel rock,
Prime Rock. And I'll say this, for all my, 30 plus years of life, The Rock has never came out to pyro ever. And all of a sudden, WrestleMania 40, he's coming out looking like Kane with the Brahma Bull fire. Yeah. Oh, man, it's definitely a top 10 entrance. That entrance was amazing.
I was thinking the same thing, when it was happening. I was thinking to myself, you know what? Dwayne wrestled so fucking long ago where the technology was so different. They didn't have these entrances built in when Rock got out of town and got, into Hollywood and stopped wrestling. So for him to have a match in 2024 with the production value that's happening at fucking WrestleMania, I mean, it was fucking unbelievable. I mean, it was drama, there was cinema, it was a beautiful situation all the way around, man.
Yeah, and that was definitely the highlight of night one. I think it's safe to say that it was a kind of a mixed review because the crowd was freezing their asses off in Philly. So we weren't getting the pops that, we were expecting for each match. But definitely towards the middle and end of the main event of night one, oh man, people were going crazy because it was such a damn entertaining match. And like you said, The Rock put on a show. The final boss looked crisp. He looked healthy.
He was throwing the punches, selling it. I mean, it looked good. I mean, the fact that we're getting to see the 1999 boots on him, the Brahma Bull trunks, it was highly entertaining, and it did what it needed to do in order to get into night two and keep everybody safe.
Yeah, and I thought all the wrestlers looked good. I mean, Roman, Cody, Seth Rollins. Who knows how hurt that guy is? I heard he's actually pretty banged
He
up.
is.
And Seth Rollins, isn't my favorite character at the moment, but he's putting on a damn show as well, and he had a lot to do in this WrestleMania. Even though he was getting his ass kicked most of the time, he had a lot to do.
Oh, highly.
But yeah, night
2 nights too.
yeah, 2 nights. Yeah, 2 nights. He was all over the place in WrestleMania 40. But yeah, night one definitely delivered. Everyone was, wondering how would The Rock look like? Would he look good? Would he look too slow? But no, he looked perfect for his age and what they had to do to set up night two main event. Let's just go ahead and jump into the main event of night two, and that's we knew the Bloodline were gonna win night one because you had to have the ending that happened in night two. You had to have anything goes because you knew it. People were going to show up. You knew people were going to show up, but the main event of Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship, right? Roman's been holding since 2020. You said he started this reign. The tribal chief.
Acknowledge your tribal chief. It's 1,368 days, pal.
Acknowledge me!
Roman fucking Reigns. Acknowledge
I was rooting
your
for
tribal
him.
chief. That guy.
I did acknowledge him. I was rooting for
Let
him.
me tell you something. Matches. I mean, the talent that he is. I don't know if you happen to see his documentary. He's probably one of the
I did watch you. I mean, you guys all told me to watch it. I loved it.
unbelievable doc. If you've never seen that on Roman Reigns on A&E, I highly suggest you check that shit out. Production wise, golden. It was also produced by fucking Paul Heyman, which is
Directed by Paul
yeah.
Heyman.
I mean, it was just incredible piece of work. And to put that out right before Mania, which they're blurring the lines between what's real and what's not, and all this shit. Like the business is so good right now. And that is what is making this whole product just unbelievable and building characters like the Roman Reigns. There'll never be another guy like Roman Reigns in this business ever again. I can tell you that.
Yeah, tribal chief. I acknowledged him. Unfortunately, he did not win in night two.
He didn't need to.
Cody did finish his story, but what a damn match! Like first of all, I liked Cody's entrance. I like his song and everything, how the crowd gets into it. I thought this was probably Cody Rhodes' best entrance. He kind of had like a Triple H entrance where he's wearing like a mask, a new coat, a new fresh coat. So I thought that was good. I thought Roman Reigns coming out to the orchestra. I thought that was epic. Oh man! But the first half of that match was kind of like your traditional match. It's like mano y mano. You're seeing these guys really go at it. But you just knew all hell was going to break loose sooner or later. And once it did, man, it was a hell of a ride. It was so damn fun.
I thought the match was booked perfectly. I don't know who produced it. I haven't looked yet, and I haven't saw it, but I'm curious to see who really kind of put that match together. But it was done. It was done perfectly. We wanted to see these two guys that we're vested in go at it. It felt real. It was good. Nobody was fucking getting in there. We didn't see Solo enter the ring. We didn't see Uso get in the ring. Like, holy shit, we're finally getting a one-on-one situation. Now, we knew that we were in bloodline rules, and we only knew at some point shit's gonna fucking explode. But it was done good. It was done great. So when people did start coming in, it was exciting.
It's arguably, I mean, if you want to say it was one of the greatest WrestleMania moments ever, I won't argue with you because it took like 20, 30 years of history and threw it at you in this epic climactic battle for the future of the WWE. Like, I wanted Roman Reigns to win because I think he's so damn awesome, especially after watching that documentary. But, they're ushering a new era of wrestling in the WWE, a new era of
Storytelling.
of storytelling.
Yes.
You read. I was gonna say it. They're ushering a new era of storytelling, and it would make sense to have a new champion as well. So, although I was rooting for the Tribal Chief, I wanted to acknowledge him one more time. Cody took the belt, and it couldn't come in a more epic fashion. I mean, you had the Usos, Jimmy Uso and Jay Uso was the first. That was the first, right? Jimmy interrupted, then Jay, which Jay's a damn traitor to the bloodline. I'll always hold that against him. How are you going to turn on your blood on WrestleMania? But they had, him spearing Jimmy off the stage was better. it was better than their match.
Great spot.
I think that this moment right there.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, again, not to get off this match, but the two brothers going at it. It was a great story. It was a great vignette going into the match, which was greatly produced. Like that was fucking great. And that's what Roman Reigns wants. Behind the scenes, he wants to get all of his people involved, his whole family. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. He's got his Uncle Rock over here. Like it's great to have him as a heel and keep going. On the other side, you have Cody Rhodes, where the masses now are very vocal about what they want, and the WWE, this new WWE, is listening. They don't want to fucking piss a lot of people off if it's so good, and they knew that they had to go Cody all the way around. Now the question is, can he lead the WWE? Can he be that guy?
He doesn't have a Roman Reigns to go up against. I think that's what made Cody's story so alluring, is that he had a Darth Vader to go up against, and that's Roman Reigns, arguably one of the greatest championship runs in WWE history. He had that going against, but now that he's on top, I mean, who's going to counteract that balance of like, okay, he's on top, now what?
I know.
And I don't know. I just don't think Cody has enough to, keep the business, as a top dog, even though there's got so much momentum behind WWE right now. So many people are invested. I'm going to be tuning in regularly from now on, hopefully, as the product is this consistent, because I want to see new stars rise and the continuing storylines that they set up, since WrestleMania and before. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, so we'll see how Cody and his championship run goes. But as far as the match, I mean, after the Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, you had, of course, Solo. You knew Solo was going to come in. Once he did, you had the first big surprise, and that was John Cena coming in.
Big, bald fucking head.
You could tell. I mean, every time he moved, he has the hair slicked back to where it covers, and you could tell he's so damn self-conscious about it.
It looks so bad, Owie. And I'll be honest with you, they showed a side-by-side comparison of when they had their match, I think 8 or 10 years ago. Dwayne looks, like he hasn't aged one bit. Maybe he's got even fucking bigger.
It's unreal.
And then Cena is like all white, like needs a tan. He's going bald. It was just bad, man. You hate to see it.
I wanted The Rock and John Cena to have kind of a larger moment, but it was kind of like, John Cena was facing a behemoth in the final boss. He didn't get one lick in. He swung right into a rock bottom, and his candy ass got slammed right into the mat.
Wasn't that good? Did you not pop? I mean, when the nostalgia comes in, man, and like we knew we were going to get these guys. There were subtle hints showing, leading up to the big show and all, but man, just hearing the music and seeing how Cena, The Rock is coming down to get Cena from that whole WrestleMania situation. You know what I mean? Like, it was just played great. It was just great to see all these guys, all the Attitude guys, pushing for his son, pushing for Cody, because at the end of the day, it's all about Dusty, right? And it's no hidden fact. So they're there to see this get done for Dusty Rhodes. It's a great story.
Yeah, and after the John Cena segment, everyone was expecting that glass to shatter.
Oh, I know.
Everyone was expecting the glass to shatter, which unfortunately it did not. There was no glass shattering. We did not get Stone Cold Steve Austin, considering one of the best feuds and rivalries in wrestling history. It would make sense to have Stone Cold come in and be the one to, put The Rock in his place.
I was waiting for him, man. I was waiting for that glass.
We didn't get the glass, brother, but we got the gong.
Holy Christ!
Once that first gong hit, the pop. You're not a fan of it?
I'm tired of seeing Mark, man. Like he's everywhere these days.
The Undertaker?
I don't call him the Undertaker anymore. He's not the Undertaker. He's the character. He's the guy that played the character. He's been on fucking podcasts, YouTubes, this, that. We go from a guy that lived and died kayfabe to now being everywhere. And now it's like, oh, the gong. I just saw him last night on Rogan. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I wish it was Stone Cold.
everyone wishes it was Stone Cold, but I still love that it was Taker because storyline wise, he is the guy backstage that's in charge, right? The final boss, The Rock, technically is the boss because he's on the
He
board of
is.
directors. But in the wrestling hierarchy, Taker's on top. They all look up to the Taker, right? To the
Right.
Undertaker. I wish Undertaker would have shown up in his Undertaker outfit, not a damn hoodie and
That's what I'm
beanie
saying.
like the American Badass. I wish he would have showed up as the Undertaker.
No.
But you're right. You're kind of right on that. He just showed up as
Yeah.
Mark and choke
Yeah.
slammed The Rock. But it was such an epic moment still, and the crowd was going bananas.
Great moment.
I loved it.
Yep. Great moment.
And I just loved the character of the final boss.
Oh,
Like The Rock embracing being a heel again is the greatest thing ever.
I call this run with The Rock one of the best characters that he's ever done. Putting up against 1998 Rock with the big sideburns, the People's Champion, the $500 shirts, the $700
Corporate Rock.
Corporate Rock was a little bit later. Corporate, you saw the Corporate Rock come. He still had those sideburns, but he had the tracksuit on and this and that. Listen, 1998, 1999 Rock. I don't care. People will say, "Oh, Hollywood Rock in '04 or '02 or '01." Nah, nah. 1998, 1999. Go back and you watch these clips. You watch this man work. What a heel. And now you put it up against this. It's that turned up a notch with his Hollywood Rock persona and the 1998, 99 Rock. It's masterful.
If he was a regular, a full timer, he could be like the new Vince McMahon
Yeah.
times 100
Yeah.
because he's got the physical. He's just got the physical presence to scare the living shit out of anyone in the roster because he's so damn big now. But yeah, like also I didn't talk about this night. Going back in time in night one when Roman Reigns speared The Rock, the way he sold that spear and was crying like a baby.
Oh, so good.
Probably one of my favorite moments.
What a sell. What a sell. Holy mackerel. That was amazing. And he's taking bumps.
Yeah.
The guy's taking bumps.
He's
at
taking
53.
Yeah, he's going through tables, Shit.
God, it was.
You gotta love it. You gotta respect it. I want
I know,
more.
dude, I
But
know.
he's taking after the last episode of Raw, he's gonna be taking a hiatus again. We probably won't see him again until the build up of maybe SummerSlam. You think?
Maybe not.
Maybe
But we're
SummerSlam?
definitely going to get,
Yeah.
Roman and Rock at 41.
Yeah, that's coming. I mean, past Raw. I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but he kind of alluded that it's going to be him versus the American Nightmare at some point. He wants Cody's belt, but that's another time. Let's go back to the main event of night 2. So after the whole epic showdown against the final boss with all these wrestlers coming back to help Cody, you had the one-on-one showdown with Cody and Roman Reigns. Seth played a role in that. We were talking about earlier how he just saw Seth in that Shield outfit, and and if you're not following the storylines of the past, what the hell's going on here? But if you do know the storylines, it does make sense, and I did like how they tied that in. His hate and disdain for what Seth Rollins did to him.
I wasn't a fan of seeing Rollins. It wasn't needed. A lot of people were confused. What the hell was that all about? Like, why is he in the Shield garb? Like that, I don't know. It confused a lot of people. So I wasn't a big fan. Love Rollins, but I was like, how does that work?
Yeah, I think if you know the history, which I barely knew, but I did know all the stuff that happened with the Shield because I did do a lot of YouTubing, even though I wasn't a regular WWE, audience member. But it ended with Cody getting 1, 2, 3, ending Roman Reigns' his
Tribal
championship
Chief.
reign.
Yes.
The Tribal Chief is
1,368 days.
over. It's done. And who knows next time we're going to see him again. I don't even think he might be on the next SmackDown after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
so
keep him off TV.
he's done.
You give that man a break. Him and Rollins are away for a while. Do not bring Reigns back. And I know the way Paul Levesque thinks, we won't see him. Take some time off. Let the whole thing cool down. Show up at SummerSlam. Screw Cody. I'm going to WrestleMania. It could be something like that. But you keep the Tribal Chief off TV. Make this very clear. Just because he lost doesn't mean he goes back and you're going to see him every week, right? This character is built to perfection, whether he's the champion or not. You heard it on Raw last night. They would thank you, Tribal Chief. Thank you, Roman Reigns. to a man that's holding the brand new title in the ring. Everybody understands what Roman Reigns was, is, and will be. It's not done yet, but you won't see him next week. Keep him off TV. He's going to be written right back into the equation, and we're going to see more of them. And who knows what's going on?
Skipping forward in time, I'm going to be Nostradamus here for a second. I think The Rock does do a little one-on-one battle for the championship with Cody, the American Nightmare, in SummerSlam. We get the Roman Reigns return, huge baby face, turns on the final boss. That's my prediction. And then that leads up to WrestleMania 41, head of the table match, The Rock versus Roman Reigns. But all right, back to WrestleMania. So that's how it ends. We get all the babyface wrestlers rushing the ring. They're carrying Cody around like freaking Rocky Balboa. It's a happy ending for everybody.
Long, did it not? Like 20 minutes of a celebration, and then they're picking his ass up, and
it was like the ultimate. It was the ultimate babyface celebration. It was kind of reminding me of the WrestleMania. You remember with Bret Hart when he beat Yokozuna?
Yeah.
And then everyone came in the ring carrying him around. It kind of reminded me of that.
When Macho Man married Elizabeth in the ring, and all of a sudden people are holding them both up. What's going on here?
That's why I'm not the biggest Cody fan. I know the fans love him, and he's bringing in viewers, but he's such a damn baby face that I can't get attached to him too much.
Just know this. What you're looking at with Cody Rhodes is a comic book character. Look at him. Look what he's wearing, right? It's the red, white, and blue. It's his white hair. You look at him. He's a comic book character. That's what Cody Rhodes is.
But like we said earlier, though, we'll see how his character evolves as he is the champion. I want to see who he goes up against next, who's going to challenge him, and what that feud's going to look like, and how the audience is going to react. Because, without his Darth Vader, his arch nemesis, the dark cloud of Roman Reigns, just kind of hovering over him. Now that he's the top dog, we'll see.
They got to write good for him. If they don't write in good storylines for Cody Rhodes, this will all end very, very quickly, and the crowd, the fans, will turn on him very, very quickly. So don't get too comfortable with all the crying every single week, and
every single damn night. The guy's on the verge of tears. It pisses me off.
It's okay. Celebrate. You got the gold. You did it, pal. Now it's time to wipe off your face and let's go. Let's go to work. Enough with the crying. I don't want to see that anymore as a champ, because the more I see that, I'm going to turn on you, and I want my tribal chief back. And the WWE universe, or the WWE producers and executives, know this. So they need to be very, very careful on how they write for him.
I think Paul Levesque, I think they could see the trends in the crowds. I think they're paying attention. Even when they see the comment section on YouTube, TikTok videos, they're paying attention. Yeah. They're watching. They're always watching. So that's what I like about the new direction, the leadership that's in the office of the WWE. They're paying attention. Yeah. It's not Vinnie Mac, who's just a dictator on every single thing in the business. We got people willing to work together to create a better story. So that's what I respect. But all right, the main event in the wraps. Yeah. It's in the books. Yep. 10 out of 10. I'd give the main event a 10 out of 10. I was going crazy. I think actually, you're right. I can't give it a 10 out of 10 for the main event. It gets a 9.5 because if the glass shattered, that would have made it perfect. It would have made it perfect.
Yeah, I thought it was produced well. It was done well. We got some wrestling in the beginning of the match, like we talked about before. We got our returns. We got our nostalgia. We got our celebration. It did what it needed to do. Was it a 5-star match? No, it wasn't a 5-star match. Did they know you weren't going to get a 5-star match out of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns? Yes. It was solid. It was entertaining. That's the way I look at it. It did what it needed to do.
Finished the story!
So if you like this video, hit the like button if you like this type of content. And maybe you'll see another, OE Reviews Zappa collab. We'll do more wrestling videos. Or maybe we'll just do it anyway.
If you want to see more Zappa, comment Hell yeah. All right.
Comment
come
hell
on.
yeah if you want to see more Zappa Man and more wrestling videos. Because Zappa is an original. He was YouTubing before YouTubing was a thing in terms of talking wrestling content. Do you want to plug your 20-year-old radio that, hasn't really.
Oh,
No?
yeah.
No, just bury that on to new
If,
endeavors.
if you want to see more Zappa, give me a hell yeah in the comments. I'll leave
All
it at
right.
that.
There you go, everyone. If you enjoyed this video about wrestling, let us know. Post in the comments section below. Smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see me or us again. And I will see you all next time. See ya.